Mybatv.
Of course, it's a good, beautiful morning here in Nigeria. Good morning, Lagos. Welcome to another exciting edition on our headline waves on Mybatv. Of course, I'm your host, Zainab Ibrahim Chatta, and I'll be taking you through all the dailies of our nation. So the first newspaper I'll be taking today is the Punch newspaper. The first story here says, Court strikes out 12.3 billion naira fraud case against Otudeco after settlement. Okoye banned over betting scandal. ADC boils over Tinubu's endorsement by Adeleke Oyinlola. APC may pick Ganduje's successor at make or break neck meeting. Israeli protests in Tel Aviv over Gaza food shortages. Senate okays Tinubu's $21 billion foreign loans. FRSA boss, the cries rising in discipline, bribery among personnel. FG policies not working, Nigerians suffering, ADC spokesperson. 3 BDP rep members defect to APC. That's a very interesting story there. Minister urges NITT students to drive Nigeria's transport evolution. Slaying 300 level reverse varsity students, not a cultist, family insists. It also says here that the judge discharged drug trafficker on health grounds. Young man killed while joining court in Lagos. That's a very sad story there. 5 arraigned for illegal waste dumping in Lagos. Man escapes death after falling into 80-foot well in Lagos. Okay, that is all on the Punch newspaper this morning. Of course, I'll be going on a very short break. When I get back, I will take you through the Vanguard and every other daily. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Headline waves on Mybatv.
Thank you for staying with us on that very short break. I am now on the Vanguard newspaper. Of course, the first story here says, Senate President announces defection of 4 PDP senators in APC. Another Oshu rep member quits PDP. I think this story is taking a huge wave across all newspapers in the nation today, because I just saw that on the Punch newspaper and now on the Vanguard. Kidnapping, poor healthcare, consider planned trip to Nigeria. US tells citizens. Okay, here, so the story here says FG releases 2025 common entrance results. Okpebolo's threat against Obi is executive rascality, says Wabara. FRSC vows tough action against corrupt undisciplined officers. Okay, that story is also making wave across the newspaper this morning. Amici arrives Rivers as ADC leader, vows to strengthen party. Sina reappoints coach, is sacked in doping scandal. Dignitaries gather in Lagos for 3rd Lateef Jakonde Memorial Lecture. Moving on, it says here that the Senate President announces defection of 4 PDP senators to APC. Of course, reps to probe Dangote, NNPC, others over downstream petroleum sector issues. Benue massacre, Governor Sule denies harboring killer headsmen in Nasarawa. Of course, it says here that this is coming from Governor Adeleke. It says, why be rejected? It is coming from Osun APC rather. It said, why we rejected Governor Adeleke's defection move. That's a very interesting story there, because this morning across all the newspapers of seeing stories about defection from PDP to APC, which has been going on for quite a while now. And now we see how the ADC plans to strengthen their own party. Of course, these are the stories that we look forward to every day, because the 2027 general election is approaching and we cannot wait to see the results insult, because now it's the battle between the APC and the PDP, or rather the APC and the ADC, because we can see that PDP is already losing their stronghold as a political party in Nigeria. Of course, I'll be going on a very short break. When I come back, I'll take you across Daily Trust newspaper. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Headline Waves on Mybatv.
Thank you for staying with us. So I am now on the Daily Trust newspaper. The top story here says Tinubu intimidating opposition ahead of 2027 general elections. This is coming from former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido. It says here that former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido has launched a scathing attack on the federal government, accusing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of weaponizing state institutions to stifle democracy. Lamido made the remarks during an interactive session with journalists in Kano, where he was questioned about his political position ahead of the 2027 general election. Lamido alleged that institutions like the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, were being used to hound opposition figures into submission. As an example, take Okowa. He was PDP's vice presidential candidate. Suddenly, he's facing charges of 1.3 trillion naira. 3 trillion naira. Then he joins APC, and just like that, the EFCC, no case. Everything is buried, he said. Lamido argued that this trend had validated Senator Adams Oshiomhole's infamous comment, "Once you join APC, your sins are forgiven." Oshiomhole has severally denied making this comment, accusing its political rivals of using it for mischief. However, Lamido warned that the manipulation of institutions and abuse of state power were corroding Nigeria's democratic foundations, causing insecurity, distrust, and national insecurity. And of course, that is all we can take on the headline waves on Mybatv today. Do stay with us like always. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our content to your family and friends. And of course, I remain Zainab Ibrahim Chatta. Thank you for staying with us. Till next time.
Headline Waves on Mybatv.